Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your patience and enjoy that Bomb A intro from my boy Swamp Dog. And shout out to Tactical Pineapple that actually created the first one. You made it all possible, my friend. Quick shout out to everybody in chat. It looks like this evening Dirt McGirt was first. Congratulations, Chanamemba, BV Luminous. What's up, brother? So we got Dirt McGirt, BV Luminous, Toy Town Inc., Montana. What's up, man? Montana. Kurt. What up, Kurt? Rich. What? How come it doesn't say Flying Rich? You better change your account, dog. That's got your whole government name on it. Mr. Snow Makes. How cool of you to be in chat. Wow. I feel just so lucky. Joe Morris. I want to ride. Is it Tuesday already? I know, right? Man against the masses. What's up, brother Pete? 80 Ralph, Pippi. Okay. Man, you guys were active. It looks like Mr. Snow was leading the whole thing. I love it. Okay. And Opie. What up? What up? All the channel members, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. Mike McClune, what's up, brother? Another channel member. You guys are great. Farmer James was cracking, fam. And a couple of double X. What up? And would you say I have a seat? What up? Savinity, what up? Jeff Cron, UAV, what up, UAV? Good to see you, brother. Low Point Goat. I always was curious about your name, but it's making a little more sense now. So that's dope. Aegis Gun Care, what's up, Ron? Everybody, just so you know, if you want to save some money on the best cleaning and lubricant in the business, you can use code DARK. Is it DARK or is it hashtag DARK for 15% off maybe? It's a percentage off. And I started going crazy with it. Not only are all my tools cleaned and lubed up, really lubey, super lubey, with Aegis, but I also started putting some drops on creaky doors. Man, come on. So let me know, everybody, what all of you had for dinner. Christian Grass, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Kane, Marco, Juggernaut, Savinity, already said what's up to you. JC9, Crazy Heathen, T for Tejas, all you guys. What's up, man? Okay, I got everybody so far. So thank you all for coming. We got a super exciting episode this evening, and I have one person that all of you have known before, seen before. Well, most of you have seen before, and he's been very busy lately. He's been very active. He'd been to an event recently that I'm sure we're going to discuss, and also just some other cool things. And when you see him, you'll likely see a lot of white items, white tools. I don't know if that sounds good. That probably doesn't sound good. So I'll let him introduce that. Here's our boy, Mr. Snow, aka Mr. Snow Makes, aka White Gas.
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure. I know we've been trying to get together on your channel for a while.
Yeah, it's funny because we end up on like other channels live streams together all the time. But I was like, man, I don't think I've actually like really had you like here solo just to do like, a talk. So
No.
glad
Yeah,
you could.
the only time I've ever been on your channel is when I popped in with on Ralph, and we had like that 2 or 3 hour like deep discussion on life and
Oh God, that's right.
what to do.
That was good, man. That was refreshing to have kind of a break from the typical, conversation. Which actually, we may have to have some of the same conversations we've been having because we're like 36 hours away from a really big rule change from the Alpha Tango Foxtrot. So,
I really honestly I haven't been following it a whole bunch because it's all just so much conjecture.
yeah.
Everybody's guessing, and I just cannot afford the energy on guesses. So yeah.
Finally, the rule changes were, not published, but they were made available to a few folks, and Crump actually has a copy of the intended rule change. It could change. There could be 5 more drafts before it hits, but they went from saying, "Hey, this is coming in June," to surprise, this is coming April 1st. It's crazy. It's almost like if there was some low budget YouTuber that could have told everyone in advance, "Oh, that's right. I did tell everyone that they were going to do this." Yeah, but I mean, we don't have to start with that. It's just something that obviously is on my mind. But yeah,
It's on everybody's mind. I mean, you look what's going on in Washington State, where they've basically just said, as of this date, but I mean, there's going to be so many lawsuits against that, and we'll
yeah,
see what happens. I mean, I'm still really shocked, kind of, sort of, that like we've heard nothing about bump stock indictments. Like there was one guy that got charged out in Texas, and they ended up dropping that portion of it just because they didn't want to challenge it in court. It seemed.
well, and that are you referring to the? Oh no, that was a different one. The military or the court martial. He
Uh,
actually beat that.
yeah. So I mean, it's crazy that
Yeah.
we've got this. I think there's certain things that they're gonna put out. They're going to put out these interpretations of the law, but then they're
Mhm.
not actually going to try to enforce them or challenge them in a court because I think they know they'll lose.
Yeah, especially they're trying this play of Chevron deference, and this all this precedence was set with the bumpies, with the whole bump stock thing, and I don't know, I'm hopeful that it may end in our pleasure, in our pleasure,
In our favor. And I
in
mean,
our
I
favor.
I still go back and I remember often because one of the funniest things to me is when a 14-inch piece of shoelace and a key ring was a machine gun,
Yeah, yeah,
for all of a hot couple weeks until they figured out that's really stupid.
yeah. Like, okay, guys, okay. I mean, honestly, like, are they going to ban bump firing? Because they can't ban phalanges, right? Like, I mean, they could ban. Uh,
Listen, I got a MIG welder and an AR-15 bolt. If I want to run away machine gun, that's like 2 seconds away.
Yeah. Well, so we were actually having this conversation on the last stream. We were kind of talking about like the things that you would need, and it's not that easy, right? And we were talking about like Ralph, he was building his Sig 320 on a live stream. And by the way, guys, if you could please type in everybody what you had for dinner. That would be really helpful for various reasons. Don't ask why, just do it. Too many choices. Morning Star, Detective John Kimball, Space Texan, man, good to see you. All you guys, grateful that you're here. And Aegis says, just trying to use fear and intimidation with no teeth. Yeah, the challenge is that, and Aegis, I'd be curious to know if you've heard anything. There was actually a white paper that came out. It was leaked via an email from the ATF that had the FRT triggers on it. And we had our hands on this like a couple months ago, and it said that it was going out to every law enforcement agency in the entire country. And it
You
showed
mean the most vaguely worded FRT letter in the world?
it was terrible. Like it
Some
made
of
me,
these maybe,
yeah, like come on,
but
dude.
we're not going to tell
And,
you which ones. Some of them
and
are, but we're not going to actually name names.
here's a picture of what the top looks like when you shotgun open an upper. Like, no, that's what my binary trigger looks like. Stop it. Like, no, yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump into all this. This is crazy, but and we can touch on it. But the one thing I do want to touch on is the makers match, man. You actually won number one in a particular class, right?
Yeah, it
Or
happened to be the braced pistol carbine. So
ooh, nice. Now, do you by any chance have any pictures queued up of the item that you used?
I think I have some handy. Uh,
Okay.
no, I don't have any handy, but I can grab some real fast.
Yeah, I think I also have some as well.
Yeah, that one will work. Here, hold on. I got to
Yep.
share it in a Chrome tab because that's much better for StreamYard.
Let me know I'm not on screen right now. Whenever it's ready, I can try and pull something else up real quick.
I'm sure this is lovely like content as we try to figure out how to get our act together here.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you think about that new intro, man?
It was really, really good. I was Swamp Dog put that together for you.
Yeah, man, Swamp Dog. I was blown away. Like it, if you look closely at the monitors, the black and white stuff on the monitors are actually builds that I did. I just did some black and white, versions of them, and yeah, he put that all together, and it's dark. It's got like the dark music. It's got it's definitely very DLD-ish.
Rich, all of my cars are white, actually.
What color are Mr. Snow's cars and house? Is the house white too?
No, the house is not white. Front door's white.
White picket fence?
Does have a white vinyl fence surrounding it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Flying Rich with the $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. I'm very grateful for you. And because of that, I am going. Oh, where did you go? Where did you go? I had it queued up, but I had to move away from it. Give me 1 second. Oh, man. Dang it. So when people super chat, I like to do a little video, and there was something that I played last time that I have to do
I've seen enough
again.
of your nonsense to know it's something. So
Yeah,
take
right.
take your time.
There we go. Got it. Download. Yes. Yes. Okay, found it. All right. So, Rich, this is for you. I appreciate that. Montana, I actually do intend to compete in the future, and I do see the screen share, which we'll jump into in a sec. Yeah, I do intend to compete in future makers matches. Once I have once I create a little more free time, once I make myself available and stuff. You guys get what I'm saying. Okay, so let me jump this in. So, Flying Rich, brother, this is for you. Oh, there we go.
That's right, run.
It's just classic. This is just beautiful. You got to. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Awesome. Okay, so, switched up the picture now.
I found the one I was looking for.
Nice. Look at her. She's a beaut. Here, I'll move us to the side there. There we go.
So that's the King Cobra 9. And that's my 17L that I ran as well. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. That I think Durwood and Mussey just did such a good job on the King Cobra 9, and there's just so little recoil. It is absolutely laid blow black system. It is this magnetic braking system that's really interesting in slowing down the bolt. It's like having some magnets on there that break and slow everything down.
Yeah.
And it really feels a lot like a roller delay, to where it doesn't have that sharp blowback impulse. It's got this kind of more smooth, progressive recoil to it that just has, very, very little muzzle climb to it.
Interesting. And that's an AR fire control group, right?
Correct. Yep. AR fire control group. It's interesting that those mag wells, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit better. As chairman says, I should have made this with far more pixels. Those mag wells are also interchangeable. So you can see that there's just like 2 pins that hold that mag well to the frame. So if you want to change out to drum mags or coffin mags or whatever, you can actually change them out.
That's awesome, dude. And this actually was on an episode of Roast Your Build, and when it came up, a lot of people were like, "Oh man, like that's a Mac, that's Scorpion, that's and it's like, no, actually, it's not. Can you walk people through what exactly that is? Because I think the first thing they do is
1 second. I'll grab a bolt. like, give me 1 second. I'll grab a bolt and I can show it.
Yeah.
That's right, run.
So the Cobra is really a thing all in its own.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so the Cobra is really all its own. So like this bolt is completely homemade.
Yeah.
Durwood designed it. I helped refine it in the original alphas, and I made several of the first prototype bolts for the group.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's currently decided that on Durwood's decision that he's not going to release the plans to build one just yet. I think he will eventually, but he's trying to recover some of his cost of all the development he's done over the years, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
but some people have a real problem with that. But
well, I think it's up to the individual that designed it to make that decision. I mean, I get it, right? Like as a printer, as like somebody that wants to get access to the dopest, newest shit, like I get it. I mean, that thing looks like a freaking scorpion bolt, like it's just this huge, solid mass. What's that made out of?
This one's made out of 1018 steel.
Okay.
So there's several of them, but it's really slick. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I mean it's all handmade. It's really cool.
Dang.
So it's just all welded up. You can see all the individual pieces there, and using some little spring steel there for an extractor, which is really what kind of one of the big things that separates this from the FGC9 is the idea that it has that extractor built in.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean the fact that you have a pick rail attachment for braces, like the options are endless. Like you can
so Mussey's done a great job of all those different end caps. The Cobra 9 has actually expanded quite a bit to where there's tons of different end caps to be able to do folding braces or pick rails or integrated braces. There's even some versions of full-on stocks. The firearm that won the People's Choice Award at the Gunmakers Match was a 16-inch barrel version of the Cobra.
Oh wow. Dang. Yeah, that I will say though, I was actually saddened by this. I every now and then, like you're told like these things in gun shops, right? And when you're maybe a little bit younger and you kind of just take the information and run with it, those things still live inside you, right? Like I remember when I bought my first Keltec Sub 2000, and they were like, "Hey, a 9mm, like the BPLE plus P plus, those things are zipping, going 1,500 feet per second." And the guys I was talking to, they were like, "That thing is blowing out of there right on the ankles, so 357 Magnum." And I was like, "Really? Wow!" So I leave like as a stupid 21-year-old kid, like, man, I got like 34 rounds of 357 Magnum in this thing, right? And I look into it, and the difference between an 8.5-inch barrel 9mm and a 16.5-inch barrel 9mm is an average of 50 feet per second.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why would anyone ever go beyond 8.5 inches? It's crazy. It's the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, because the powder is basically built up. You've already reached your peak pressure, and it keeps going. Now, why do you go to 16 inches? Because you want a rifle instead of a brace pistol.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you do it. It's not for a performance measure. It's just for legal reasons that are stupid.
Yeah.
There are actually some other reasons you would do it if you want a quieter gun while suppressing.
For sure. Yeah. The Sub 2000 with like some standard 140 standard pressure 147s are stupid quiet out of it, especially with a bolt that's reciprocating under your armpit. You know, it's pretty quiet. I like it, and people talk shit about the Sub 2000 all the time. I mean, let's be real. People talk shit about Keltec all the time, but
Well, it's kind of like Olight. You got to rip on them.
yeah, yeah, right. But number one, mine is factory glowy blue. Just gonna say that. Number two, a Keltec Sub 2000 was seen in Ukraine in the field,
I saw that.
and I was like, we did it. Um, oh, nice. Got this.
So there's the Cobra kind of all dressed up with a different brace on it and the suppressor.
So that's the brace that's kind of loosely based on the Scorpion with the tail hook, right?
Yeah. But whenever I go out into public and shoot a competition like that, I'm gonna feel better having, an SB Tactical on there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did shoot like the SB Tactical 1913 brace in the competition.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So talk about that. I saw some footage of you running that 17L with the Hollow Sun, like first person view, Call of Duty style. Like you were running it, man. You were crushing it.
Yeah, on the pistol really just didn't work out for me great that day. It worked fine the day before, but then just that day, my ejection pattern just kind of wasn't working great. So I kept getting a bunch of double feeds. It would eject, but then it would. I don't know what it was doing entirely, but it was weird. Let me see if I can pull one up.
I only saw one malfunction. Well, I guess I only saw the footage that you shared, right? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I got a bunch of footage here. Let me see if we can get that up. I think we can.
Oh hell yeah, Montana! Streamlight gang gang.
Or of course, I don't know if they're gonna like kick you out of the stream because we're showing like footage of a hand.
It should be all right because it's footage that already happened. For any YouTube moderators out there, currently this is previous footage that already happened. No one is running around with a firearm.
Yeah, so this was absolutely like my worst run of the day. That was like, I think it was about 25 yards to start it off with. You run to section 2 here, and this is where I had a brutal malfunction. Slide locked back, had to strip the mag, clear the malfunction, same mag back in, running and gunning again, which means I didn't have a complete mag. So I had an awesome reload here in a second. Back into the game. So what was cool about this particular barrier setup is we were roughly 4 to 5 foot off of that barrier, which is unusual for barrier shooting to be off of a barrier.
Yeah, that is.
And it was a 10-second penalty if you shot that barrier.
Really?
So if you hit that barrier, you're basically out of contention for a podium finish.
Now, was there a specific reason that they were, shooting for that distance from, the shooter to barrier distance?
I don't really. I asked Rob about it. He didn't really give me a straightforward answer. He just thought it was something a little bit different, a little more challenging.
Yeah.
And that was about it. It was just one of those things that was sometimes good to throw out some weirdness.
Yeah.
I will say that anybody that had the Are We Cool Yet drip lift riser on their gun basically hit the barrier.
Wow.
Because that height over bore
it's
of
nuts.
the drip lift riser is super high, and that thing's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But from a practicality point, and you're shooting off that barrier, the only way you're not going to hit the barrier if you've got that crazy height over bore is your sight is looking through the barrier.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they, though it is a cool idea, I think if they removed the backup irons that are inside and brought it to a standard, but I get it. It's a
then
cool.
It's just a riser. I mean, I guess that would have been the real option in that stage is go to the iron sights for that particular reason. But
yeah,
I'd be curious to know the number of people that actually have their irons sighted in on that thing.
Yeah. So funny thing, from like a real tactical standpoint, at least from, what I've heard, the people that I've spoken with, like law enforcement, military, the people I've talked to that have been in conflict, engagements, whatever you want to call it. there's actually a real tactical application of not hugging cover. And I didn't know if, I know in a competition it adds a little bit of difficulty, but there's also that like natural, you know, desire to hug cover as close as you can, and cover yourself behind. But from like a functionality standpoint of using cover and avoiding ricochets and getting a better sight picture, field of view.
Yeah, so walls and things like that can be a blessing and a curse, because if somebody comes around a corner and they start, if you're up against that wall and you get surprised from the side, those bullets will follow that wall.
Yep.
And they will skip off that wall, and anything that's right up against that wall is going to be in that path.
Yep.
Secondly, you've got an issue shooting from a barrier like that. How you normally shoot those barriers is you actually stick your barrel through the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really in a tactical situation, having your barrel stick out there that says, "Hey, here I am," that's not good either. What's that pipe sticking out of that thing that keeps having smoke come out of it eventually?
Yeah. Is that a camera?
Yeah, we better call in some RPGs on that.
Yeah.
So shooting back offside of those things are a great thing. That's why a lot of sniper teams, like in urban environments, carry sledgehammers.
Really?
Yeah, because they'll knock holes in walls.
Yeah.
They'll knock a hole in the wall. They'll keyhole the wall. Then they'll back up into the back of the room and shoot through that hole.
Yeah, I've seen that, and that's why it's kind of so funny. Like when watching movies and you see snipers that like have their barrel like a foot and a half outside of the dwelling. Like, no, dude, no, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's bad form.
Yeah.
But my favorite like sniper movie moment, I don't know why. Like, it's one of those things that randomly comes to me as I go throughout my daily life, which really should say a lot about me. It's from the movie Shooter.
Ooh.
With Mark Wahlberg, when like they have his sniper rifle, his Shaytak sniper rifle in the courtroom, he picks it up and he's like, "I always set back all my firing pins whenever I leave."
Yeah, I always remove them. Like, what?
No, he didn't. He doesn't remove them.
Shaves them.
He shaves them down so they don't actually have engaging with the primer. Like,
yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Like, really? Like, God, that I that's got to be like the most ridiculous moment. And the funny thing is that they're all in this meeting, right? And they're all like, "Well, I guess that means not guilty. You're free to go." Like,
yeah, it's the greatest MacGuffin of all time. So MacGuffin for a MacGuffin, for those that aren't aware of that term, is a movie plot line or object that just moves a story forward. Like the Maltese Falcon is one of the most famous MacGuffins of all times. It's this object of plot point that, or the unobtainium from Avatar. These are the idea of a plot point made up object.
Like, doesn't he still need to be processed out of the prison that he? Nope. He could just walk right out of here.
That man's a national hero. He's fine.
Yeah, he shaves his firing pins, guys. Come on. Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of sad because the rest of that movie was so good. It was good.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite movies?
So okay, quick sideline. The name Mr. Snow actually comes from a bit of a twisted movie trivia. I've told people this before so Reservoir Dogs was actually one of my favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah, I was a big Tarantino fan, and Reservoir Dogs, there was a character in that movie called Mr. White, and it was Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue.
Yep.
Everybody had a color, and I was always into Mr. White, this cool, calm, collected guy that was kind of like the nice guy, bad guy for the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to empathize with him as trying to do the right thing for the most part. So like for years, my gamer tag was Mr. White, and I had him from Reservoir Dogs as my avatar.
Nice.
But then Breaking Bad came out.
Yeah.
And so no matter what game I'd play online, everybody would see like, "Oh, Mr. White from Breaking Bad." And I'm like, no. And I got sick of describing Reservoir Dogs to children.
Yeah, to 16-year-olds that are
yeah, so it morphed into Mr. Snow, and that's been, it all worked out.
That's cool shit. I had no idea. Funny enough that you brought up the movie Shooter. My old gamer tag was Bob Lee Swag.
Bob Lee Swagger.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a play because like at that point, like the word swag was like so dope. Like everybody was like, "Oh, swag, swag," and I was like, okay, so I get to throw in a cool word, and I get to throw in the element of Bob Lee Swagger, right? So it was Bob Lee Swag, but I never used a bolt gun. I was never a long range shooter. I was the dude with the MP7 that walks in the room crazy fast, like whack, and just putting people down.
So I've always been into bolt guns. That's really where my passion actually is. I
Yeah, people don't
love
know that
bolt
about you.
guns. Yeah, I'm in the process right now of building a couple bolt guns with like MP Masterpiece Arms chassis. I'm really building up a PRC bolt gun in 6mm Dasher, which is this
That's
crazy weird cartridge.
Isn't 6mm Dasher the new? Oh no, that's Spear. The military round is Spear, 6mm Spear.
Yeah.
So talk two things. Are you referring to the Masterpiece Arms that makes Mac? Really?
Yeah, they make some of the best PRC chassis there are out there. They make some beautiful, beautiful chassis.
Dude, I'm like blown away. I had no idea. Can you also tell them to start making Macs again that look like Macs? Also,
I am back ordered on one of their Macs currently that I ordered from them because they actually just started producing a 5.7x28 Mac.
Oh, nice. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
My local shop actually has one right now. It's got that crazy muzzle brake that apparently originally was pinned and welded on a pistol for no reason, that has the ability to be suppressed. I don't get that. But I guess the new ones are 1/2x28. So that's pretty dope. Are you throwing a can on it, or are you using it for a print? What's the plan?
The 5.7/28, that's still a bit of a skunk yard project that's coming to do a 3D printed Mac in 5.7x28. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Nice.
There's the Masterpiece Arms chassis system.
And for those of you that, whoa, that is beautiful. I'll just really quickly before I forget, for those of you that don't know, the Masterpiece Arms 5.7x28 takes the FN57 mags, which obviously you can use the 20 rounders or the 20 with the +10 on it as well. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, so I'm rolling pretty deep into the 5.7/28 territory right now with like the P90 stuff we're doing, and I do have a 5.7. I've got a PS90 in the 16-inch. I never went through the process to SBR it yet, but yeah, so 6mm Dasher is really weird because it's a wildcat of a wildcat.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the 6mm Dasher. Talk to me about that.
So the 6mm Dasher is, are you familiar with the term Ackley improved?
I think I remember hearing that, but I don't know. I don't recall what it means.
So it's really about that neck angle of the case, and you can kind of bulge it out more like rounding out to be this kind of like rocket cone out of the case.
To build up pressure and stuff like that.
It's almost like a shaped charge in a way. That gets really interesting. But it starts as a 6mm BR, 6mm bench rest caliber, and you're actually going to then I use a hydroforming die to actually bulge it out to be into the 6mm Dasher. So it kind of looks like, hold on. There you go.
DB Cooper says 40 shoulder.
Yeah, so it changes the neck angle. You can see that like a standard, let me get it on here. You see like a standard neck angle of like a 6mm BR versus the Dasher has a much different shoulder angle that causes significantly different pressure curves.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. I mean, that is literally like an upside down wine bottle pressure geez, you just said it.
Pressure curve.
Yeah, no, the
Shape charge.
Shape charge. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the theory behind it, and it totally works. My gunsmith mentor that I do a lot of training with let me shoot his, and I went out to 1,000 yards and I shot like a 3.5-inch group with it. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go build one of these now.
That's crazy.
So we set up at 1,000 yards and I shot a 3-shot 3-inch group. I was like, yep, I'm gonna go build one of these now.
Now let me guess. You were doing this through a Night Force.
I don't remember what optic he had. I think he had a Leupold optic on it. But yeah, I'm a Night Force guy though.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, he is so much of a Night Force guy that he will 3D print a $50 1022 or sub $100 1022 and throw a $1,800 $2,000 Night Force scope on it.
I mean, that was obviously a bit of a joke.
Kind of a troll.
Well, not really a troll. Like literally, it's actually worse than that. And this sounds terrible. Yeah, so that's my bento box with a MX8. That's a 1:8 Night Force scope.
It's an excellent scope.
Yeah, it's an amazing scope. But I actually like pulled this scope off of one of the Sig Sauer 308 DMR rifles, those piston driven. I don't remember the model number on it off the top of my head.
516 or no, 716.
716. Yeah, it was a 716 and 308. So I have one of those, and I had this optic on it, which was perfect for that 308 Sig, DMR rifle. Because I bought a Sig Echo 3 thermal.
Okay.
So I put the thermal scope on that Sig, and I just took this one and I had it laying on the bench, and I just threw it on the 3D printed rifle because that's what I had laying around.
Yeah, it was the closest thing.
It was the closest thing at the moment. I was like, I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, dude, it's you gotta appreciate that. That's I do have one item from Night Force. A lot of people may not know this. When I went to SHOT Show, the first time I got to meet all the Night Force guys and gals, and I have a patch from Night Force. That is all I have from Night Force. And not to say that like they're excellent quality optics. The glass, the way that they nitrogen purge, the quality is just crazy. But oh shit, Matt Matrix, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Swamp Dog, what up? And for some of you guys that may not know, we have a new intro, and I'm happy to play it again just to show it off. Aegis Gun Care says, Mr. Snow, I got someone to hook you up with. Sorry, he's taken. He is married. Just kidding.
Well, let's not leave anything off the table. Depends on who he's hooking me up with here. Let's have that conversation first.
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk offline. PASC, what's up, brother? I'm too poor. Hey, you and me both, brother. I don't want to say like I'm one of the poors, but I like to say I choose to invest that money elsewhere. And if I was like Mr. Snow level flexing, then yeah, I'd be rocking some Night Force. I would put that on like something ridiculous. Well, like a 3D printed bento box. Hell yeah. So what other kind of project? Oh, hello.
You could throw it on something like a M82 A1. I mean, that's a good home for a Night Force.
I totally thought you were going to say that's a good home defense gun.
It probably would be. For in case your neighbor's being robbed, this is a great option.
Yeah, for like small apartments. Just kidding.
If somebody's running away with a refrigerator, you could stop them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if they're on the other side of the refrigerator.
Yeah, we want to be clear on that. This will take care of that. So.
But if you're in the movie Eraser, then refrigerators stop railguns. I don't know if you recall that.
I do. I love that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And my favorite scene is when the horrendous CGI alligators are coming out of the tank.
Oh yeah, dude, that's I wouldn't say it's one of the like I was gonna say that was one of the best movies, but man, if you go back from like the 90s and early 2000s, like there is pure freaking gold, man. See you strike me as like a I'd say probably like you've probably read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You probably love Spaceballs,
Yep.
and you probably uh, you're not like a Star Wars freak, but you enjoy it a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I'm really a freak about anything. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open to all things. Like I can appreciate all things. I'm a huge Blade Runner fan.
Okay. I don't
So
think I've ever heard anyone say that.
this is not an actual gun. That's a prop. Is that okay? I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to distinguish that, but that's like a Blade Runner. That's from the new one, the 20. So, I mean, how I first got into 3D printing, this one's actually signed by Adam Savage.
What?
Yeah. So I got into 3D printing to like build props from like movies and stuff like that I just really liked. And it didn't last very long till I figured out I can make these functional.
Dude, you know what I just realized? I didn't actually say, Mr. Snow, let everyone know who you are, what you do, and how. So this is perfect. So you're kind of talking about your starting a 3D printing. So let everyone know what who you are, what you do, your channel, and all that.
And that's funny because it was weird going to the Makers Match recently and being like presented with this idea that I'm a celebrity. Like I had people come up to me asking for selfies, and that is really weird to me.
You're what they call a celebrity.
A celebrity. Is that
celebrity? Because you're a web celebrity,
I don't know how I feel about that just yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that's weird to me. I mean, yeah. So I'm really like, I don't really think I'm anybody. I just like having a good time and showing off my projects and what I'm doing and hopefully encouraging others to take the dive. You know, what I tell everybody is I am not an engineer. I write a desk job all day, and I just have a passion to figure stuff out. I don't have any formal training in 3D printing. I have sought out formal training in firearm creation and shooting. I love training, and I have mentors through American Gunsmith Institute. I've been through the AGI courses.
Nice.
So it's all good stuff, but you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram under that handle, Mr. Snow Makes. Because to me, it's all about that idea of, I want to encourage people to make stuff because I think we need to do more of that.
Well, I think that, looking back on everything, like the moment that I started to explore the world of 3D printing firearms, you start to see like, obviously like PSR was kind of newer around that time. I was always attracted to it prior. I got to meet Cody Wilson, had him on a few times, got to meet, in this type of fashion, great people like you, Ralph, Chairman Juan. Oh shit, we were going to invite Chairman Juan on.
Here, I got it.
Cool. Thank you, brother. Chairman, my bad, brother, if you're still out there. Petey Ralph, Chairman Juan, obviously having PSR on was just awesome. Having people, connected to Control Pew and Vin Win and, all these guys but I will say that like you, Ralph, and Ralph and I have gotten pretty close. So like you, Ralph, and Chairman, like you guys have been like the biggest inspirations of like getting me into actually printing. I've been putting that off for years, literal years. And I guess I'm kind of glad in a way that he said, I'm still here. Good, Chairman. I'm kind of glad in a way because the technology has come a long way. And I mean, I got a printer for $99 from Micro Center, which It is down. I got it back up. It is actually printing. I need to show you this clog. You will not believe it. I had 2 pieces of filament like this in the top, okay? So the Bowden tube wasn't completely pushed down, I'm guessing, because I was trying to do a cold pull, so I was pushing it in, and I guess I was pushing it right past the other one. So the Bowden tube was just off. What's up? What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Long time no see. It's only been 2 or 3 days since I last darkened your doorstep route or dark.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think funny enough, what is it? Tuesday. So we were.
This is the day that we were talking about having me on anyway.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Yeah, and you and Snow, like this is like GOAT Central for printers. And I gotta say, it's kind of funny, man. Like your beautiful pine background, it makes it look like you're at like a Ford operating base or something like that. Like
at my pine.
The wood in the background. If you've ever seen those like makeshift army bases where they just like throw up like wood walls everywhere.
That is not pine whatsoever. That's just his soft, warm lighting there.
It's just my nice.
It's just his warm lights,
bro. That was so trippy, dude. Okay, so
chairman is heavily into the warm lights.
You were like,
this big. I don't even want to. Yeah, Ralph and I have words over that. He's got this weird like third worlder attitude towards lights, where like if it's not fucking like bright fluorescent, like he just doesn't feel clean.
Yeah, I hate white lights. Like I'm not even like I'm just kidding. I will say though, the first one I got was this mofo, and this thing is like having the sun in your bedroom. I'm not even going to turn it on. It's crazy. And I settled for one that's like this big.
Yeah, I mean for camera light for me now, I just bounce a little bit of fill light because like I surround myself with so many screens now that I get more than enough light just from my white ass screens. Like,
dude, I feel you. Yeah, that's so crazy because like you are like smaller on my screen, and seeing the different color in the background and like the black thing and like the black handle, like it literally looked like the grain of like wood. And then when you said that and I looked closer, it like morphed into something else.
Yeah, I just
screens.
Yeah, I just have a lot of screen real estate in front of me.
Bro, you are like the dude from Grandma's Boy that's like in that room, like in the chair, like upside down with the Matrix music playing.
We're doing this now, right? We're taking workstation pictures.
Snow, you're a fellow trackball aficionado, aren't you?
I do have a trackball that I enjoy. My desk is a full-on nightmare.
Oh, bro, you don't even want to see mine.
Oh, which camera?
Hold on, let me blow you up. Oh, that's not bad at all, man. If I think I have too much stuff that would possibly dox me. Let's see. Let me.
There's not enough resolution in that. I got some sweet stickers though right now that I'm super excited about. This is probably like one of the nerdiest stickers on the face of the planet.
There's one place like.
That's a Stargate. That's a Stargate address for home.
What?
Stargate address for Earth.
That's crazy.
I was like never a Stargate guy. Like, I don't know.
Dude, man, like, I got all my like Stargate patches going. I'm like ready to go full LARP with my P90. I'm ready.
Dude, I am so freaking excited about the P. You're talking about the printed one, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I got to finish it up. I have all the pieces now. I just got to put it together.
Mine is a folding table with all over it, bro, and a little thing, right?
Oh, dark. Come on. You're like, I can see why you and Ralph are friends. Jesus.
Oh, bro. Well, and that's just the extra one, right? I will say though, I got a hold of the JM4 tactical holster. So like, when you're like running and you're like, man, I gotta piss so bad, you can just be like, oh snap, you can just be like, whoop, and like take the whole the whole unit out, right? And you got your holster set up. I'm covering it, and I'm really not like a leather dude. Like I was a Galco like homie for like the longest time, and then when you're throwing it back in, you literally just like, this is sweatpants, y'all. And of course, you can carry it with a gun belt or whatever. There's my pale, hairy white belly for y'all. But the most hilarious thing is this. So it has a remarkably powerful neodymium magnet on it. And today was the first day that I really wore it like out. I wore it to work. I went to the office. I'm rocking it like with a gun belt, with a good quality instructor belt. And I lean over the table. There's this one of the more popular coworkers of ours who happens to have long blonde hair. We'll just say that. And I lean over the table. I'm amongst a dozen coworkers, and her car keys go like this. Hold on, now I gotta actually show it with car keys because it's even more hilarious.
Don't show your keys on a stream.
Yeah, good call. But it literally was like, whoop, and it stuck to my crotch like that. Her car keys were like magnetoed to my crotch, and I was like,
this puts a whole new spin on a fishbowl,
dude. I was like, here your keys back. And I was like, sorry, I got this thing. I was like, I'm laughing and walked away like, oh my God. Like, so that's something you got to consider. Also, another thing I thought of is, running, right? Like my other setup that's a super cheap, stupid, leather badge holster, which I literally have owned this since I was 21. I'm in my mid 30s. And my tactical girth helps hold that into place. And my switching to the JM4 tactical holster, I don't know, it kind of makes me feel like if I have to run, like I can run with that little like $15 holster from when I was a kid. I can run. I could play basketball with it. I could throw around my daughter, like whatever. But I don't know. I kind of feel like this may like fly out or become displaced or something. So I'm a little apprehensive about it, but I'm giving it a good old college try.
Sorry, I had to go. I had to go collect Boji because
had to collect the Shiba, the new Shiba.
Oh, look at that.
He is like attached to me. So our other dog like only likes hanging out with my wife. So like, which is messed up because she's my dog. But thankfully the Shiba has like imprinted on me, so only wants to hang out with me. But it's like a Shiba, so they're kind of like dicks. So he wants to like hang out with me, but like a few feet away.
Let me see that thing again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's like absurdly cute.
Dude, how old is he?
He's like coming up on 12 weeks. He's super young.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, we had wanted one for a while. We had tried to find one in Baltimore and 2 years, never had any luck. And then, we moved to San Antonio and we find one, like 3 weeks after moving here.
My dog's already asleep.
God, man, you guys and your freaking pets, man. I'm going to have to go get my daughter. Dude. That's like the super cute wobbly leg picture, right? Like
that's a Cavapoo, which is a King Charles Cavalier and Poodle blend.
How old is he now?
He's like he's born in October, so like his birthday is October 28th.
Yeah,
I'd guess he's like $2,000 old, something like that.
If only.
Oh God!
How much did you pay?
$5,000.
It was a $3,500 dog.
Man, I got away with like $1,200 for the Shiba.
Really?
Yeah, like way cheaper than I thought.
Man, and I thought I really got screwed over for a $75 pit bull.
It's okay. My Jack Russell was a $200, like Baltimore, shit dog. So.
Oh, so now that you're gone, and you don't have to, right? Because there may still be things that connect us to places. But you were like really in Bmore, or were you kind of?
Yeah, no, I went to art school in Baltimore, and
Okay.
I got a degree in industrial design there, and started working for a company that was local. Yeah, no, I bought a house near like Hopkins, the university, not the school, so kind of like uptown. Yeah,
Okay.
I bought it when I was 21. I had like
Nice, man.
$40,000 of inheritance money, so not like life-changing money, but enough to like put a down payment on a house. So I bought a house, and I was in college. Like I took some gap years, so I was in college like later into my 20s than normal. And yeah, so I just filled it up with like college roommates, had my rent paid for, and then when I met my girlfriend, now wife, we just started. People would end their leases. We'd just not fill up the rooms, and then yeah, my wife and I have lived there for just the two of us for maybe the past 4 years. But I mean, altogether, we were there for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and we really liked it. Like, I mean, I really liked it at least.
Yeah.
I never had any bad experiences in Baltimore. If you want to like be in the Northeast and kind of like, and you're like in your 20s to like early 30s and like don't have kids yet, it's actually a great place because like, I mean, not now because like they just passed some more like crazy ass laws, but like fucking you buy a big house for essentially nothing, and
Yep. I mean, dude, I've literally seen homes out there for sub $20,000.
Yeah, I mean, mine wasn't like that cheap. I did
Yeah.
buy in like an area that was improving in like a desirable area, but it was still like really cheap.
Yeah, like right off of Route 40, Edmondson Avenue.
I mean, like this is like I bought this place when like mortgage rates were shitty, and like my mortgage was $900 a month for a 4-bedroom house. Like,
bro, that's crazy. That's y'all don't even want to know what like rent is out here, and yeah, I guess mortgage.
I mean, where are you again? I thought you were in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm in Virginia. I'm actually right outside of DC.
Okay, so you're like, yeah, you're just like a Nova
Yeah.
boy.
Yep, Nova boy. I'm a little bit further out now. I was a little too close to the city for my liking, so I moved a little bit further away. Those houses are the blue light specials, dark. Yeah, the blue chem light specials. Yeah, I've always kind of floated in between, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and what we call the DMV. We're not talking about the Department of Motor Vehicles, guys. And yeah, I don't know, something it was just special about Virginia. And we, for the first time ever over the past 3-4 years, finally experienced changes in laws with firearms that were not positive. I remember going to the gun shop and that I used to work at, and I know I shouldn't end my sentence in a participle. Sorry, of where I used to work, and I go there and I take out. I'm making a purchase. I think I was getting a Glock 42 380, and I lay down my ID. Then I lay down my. I take out my permit and my voter card, and I'm like, which one do you prefer, right? And they're like, oh no, you just need your ID. I was like, what? You need a second form of ID that's government issued with the matching address. They're like, no, they changed that. All you need is your ID. I was like, hold on, Virginia did something to make purchasing firearms easier? Like, this is crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. After that, we brought on one of the most famous blackface baby killing governors of the United States, which, we don't need to talk about him, but he was the one that was famously noted on the Breakfast Club talking about post-birth abortions.
Solid.
Dead ass serious. Like, dead ass serious. I moved to Virginia. A few months later, it went red. Talk about good timing. Yeah. It depends. If you look at Virginia on a map, the top where I used to live, which is right outside of the city, like within a half an hour of the city, like your Arlington, Alexandria, kind of that area, more historic areas. The tippy top of it is blue, like straight blue, because it's more urban city like. And then the rest of the state is like completely red, excluding some of Virginia Beach. Ah, nice.
Sorry, Ralph was asking what I was drinking on tonight. I only buy this because like the can is just straight beautiful. Like it reminds me of like, I don't know, like a 90s kind of like fast food thing, or like maybe they got the same person who does like the sides of RVs to do it.
Yeah. All you need is some wood paneling on that thing and you are solid.
And yeah, I mean, it just tastes like shitty whatever, you know. I mean, it just tastes like, you know, normal cheap beer. But
as an art school graduate, you're kind of required to drink stuff like that. You got to look cool.
It just, you know, it's cool. Like Central Market, for some reason, which is like the fancy like grocery store in San Antonio, sells this for some reason. And whenever my wife goes, I'm like, oh, like grab me one of those, you know, Montuckies. This is just like looks so cool.
I just like the packaging.
Yeah, terrible drink.
It's terrible, but I mean,
it's
so cool.
It's fine. It's like not as good. I mean, like, I don't know, Dark. Like, what's your go-to like cheap like national beer? Like a beer you can get anywhere.
I actually really don't drink anymore. I will.
All right, never mind. Snow. How about you?
I'm actually not a huge beer person, but I generally am more of a straight liquor guy. So,
yeah, I'm a Macallan guy.
Yeah, but I do. I mean, I do like a Killian's. I like some ciders. You know,
I'm more of a natty light kind. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do like. There's one beer, and if anybody in the comments knows, please help me. There is one beer that I had probably 3-4 years ago that I got from a Whole Foods in Northern Virginia, and it was called Numbskull. And it was this like fall special, and it was this mix of like caramel-ish kind of, you know, caramel colored. It wasn't super sweet. It was kind of hoppy, but just had like the smell of like the season, but it wasn't like whack like pumpkin spice bullshit. Like it was baller as hell, man. And I have not found that beer ever again, like anywhere. Can't find it.
It's made by Bad Sons Beer Company out in California.
Yeah, but I haven't actually seen any for sale.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. Like, you know, when I was like an art student and stuff, I used to be like one of those annoying people who was like, you know, oh, it's like got to be like really fancy, kind of like
some things never change.
And well, no, so then like what happened is I made like really good friends with like a dude who owns a brewery in Baltimore, Peabody Heights Brewing. Check it out if you're in Baltimore. And he fucking like we just like got to like he like started like teaching me stuff about like brewing and beer and like making stuff like pilsners and, you know, lagers and like, you know, the cheaper beers. So much harder than making like IPAs and stuff like that. You need so much more equipment and like it's so much more finicky to get something good. So like, I don't know, like drinking like his takes on like, oh, like this is our natty bow and like stuff like that just like got me to appreciate like normal beer a lot more. And I don't know, like it's, you know, it's like I'll still like drink an IPA or something, but like I don't know, like he cured me of my beer snobness.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like looking at like the more commercial beer, like I honestly like traditional Boston Lager. That shit's good. Like seasonal packs that you get from them is pretty good, except when they come out with that like off the wall shit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't I don't drink like I used to. But when I do, I'll take some 12 or 15 year you know, single malt Macallan, maybe some Glenfiddich, maybe some Glenlivet, some Glen something. or some Macallan. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Well, this was fun. I'm just kidding. So
sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm working on like the grips.
Oh, let me guess. You're working on the stippling for a Glock.
No, I'm working on. I mean, I can share my screen. I'm just working on. Can I share my screen? No, I can't.
Oh, you know what?
Oh yeah, I can.
It's because I have this up. Let me get rid of this real quick. Okay, sorry. That's going to get me in trouble. But you know what? So worth it. Okay, sorry. Yes, let's go ahead and share the holy cad, Batman.
Yeah, so right now I'm working on my new Glock frames because like you can see
I like the palms swell a lot better.
Yeah, so you can see in like the shade, like the part here that's like ghosted, that's my current like V2 Glocks. And I'm trying to go with something that's a lot more SIG-like. So I'm switching over to a Gen 5 pocket here. Because it's slightly it's slightly slimmer, so I can go significant. It's slight, but like it actually, like the practical effect of it is I can go a lot slimmer on the I can go a lot deeper up here on the fucking curvy bit. I don't know.
Backstrap.
Yeah. Thank you. So I can go like so deep there, but right now what I'm just doing is I'm making like just like microscopic adjustments because you'll see here in a second, but like the like what I see here as like valid geometry doesn't exactly translate to like what's actually valid for something that'll like slice. Because you can get like walls that are too thin, so like you need 2 layers of plastic to like actually have a valid feature when you go to slice. So I'm just like doing the endless cycle of like making a little change, dropping it into Cura, and then just like giving it a quick slice to like see if I'm valid.
If you have a thick enough wall feature for the 3D printer to pick it up.
Yeah, and I know this like looks like super blocky right now. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you start with the grip.
Yeah, you got to start with the bones. Now,
so I'm guessing that I caused a void right here. So like I can get away like down. Oh, cool. No, cool. All right, so I'm still okay. But like, you know, you can see back here, I'm coming so far up that like in that corner of that pocket, I mean, we're really just
which all your V1s had that gap there too.
Yeah, and my V2s. Like you want to come as close as possible there because like that's where you get those good ergos from. If you don't come as close as possible there, like that's one of the things that really differentiates my frames and like stops my Glocks from feeling like bricks in the hand. You want to come super close right there. You also want to come, so you can see I actually have a little bit more space that I can go down here. Basically, I could probably come another 1/10 of a millimeter. And like this sounds like stupid. Like this sounds like I'm being picky, but it really matters. Like getting those things as tight as possible. Like that's this kind of like the secret sauce that when you go to like pick up a gun, like differentiates like a really, really like good, like ergonomically done 3D model from like, I mean, that's like a SIG P365 versus like, a Glock 43. Like, one of them really like took it to the limit of what they could do with the ergonomics. And like, that's like, you feel it in your hand.
I shot a Canic for the first time this weekend, and I really, really enjoyed the feel. It had a super deep pocket up there by the beaver beaver tail.
Dude,
It felt really nice.
And their triggers are excellent. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
not a Canic kind of guy. Look up the Canic Whiteout. You're gonna shoot your britches when you see it.
Hold on. That's snow bait.
That is available right now at my local gun shop.
So let's take a look at that actual fucking picture, though. All right, cool. So yeah, like there's a lot of good stuff here with the grip. Like they did that's a good pocket. They're pulling enough material out here. There's some like errors here in the 3D modeling, like this line right here. That's just from inexperienced CAD. Like it's possible to make that totally smooth, but you're seeing a line right there because they couldn't like actually properly merge the two features. Like this is one feature and this is another feature, and they didn't have the skill or time to actually merge those.
Niet. Grip is good.
Yeah, like the grip looks really like the organ. Like I wouldn't accept this level of 3D modeling. Like I wouldn't release a model with these errors. But like they have like the fundamentals of like grip design down. Like they're putting features in the right places for the right reasons, and like that's more than you can say for like a lot of companies that release handguns. Like
I was impressed. Sorry, just real quick. I was very impressed when I put my hands on it and actually spending the time to handle it, and the trigger, the reset, that's an improved trigger because it's kind of like a competition gun. And for the value for the 700s, I also found a Shadow Systems, what do they call it? Like an anniversary or some shit like that. They have a flat dark earth Shadow Systems threaded barrel suppressor height sights in all flat dark earth, which is dope, or an anniversary edition with a gray frame and a Damascus slide for like 863 or something like that. But that's when I saw this whiteout, and I was like, dude, I gotta spend time with it. Mr. Snow, what are your thoughts on the whiteout?
That looks dope, but I hate the fact that somebody signed their name on it. I didn't actually see like who the signature was. So I mean, yeah, I love stuff like that, but I'd much rather take it down to my local guy and have him Cerakote it the way I want it.
Hell yeah, I feel you. So Chairman Juan, question. I was wondering.
Sorry, I'll get out of this. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Dude, hey, do your thing, man. I mean, honestly, I find that fucking incredible.
Dark Shade had like 3 gummies. He's chill, man.
Hey, I'd like you to know that these haven't even been opened yet. Okay. No, actually, the funny thing is, like, people are like constantly talking about how often I eat gummies, and I swear to God, like, I seldomly have them daily. No, I'm just kidding. I seldomly have them. And who walks in the door but none other than Arcane Tactical. Chairman, some of these gun designers use engineers for their frame ergo designs instead of industrial designers.
Yep, that's a huge problem. I mean, there's a reason the Lone Wolf frames look like garbage, because they have, like, the guy they have is super talented, but, like, he's doing all their engineering and their design. So, like, there's literally not enough fucking hours in the day to do, like, I mean, like people, like, I'm a really fast CAD guy. Like, I've been doing this for a long time, and like I know my way around 3D modeling. But okay, so like anything that's like made out of like organic shapes inherently takes a lot longer. And you're combining like pushing organic shapes to the limit around like internals that are fixed, so you don't actually like you just do a lot of trial and error to like make organic shapes that actually like fit into like what you're trying to make, and then you have to iterate just like based on like comfort, and it takes a really long time. You know, like the first models for like the V2 Glocks took, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks. And, you know, I like went up to Battlecock Tactical and like, you know, shopped them around to be like, hey, like, you know, what am I doing wrong here? And, you know, that's before any of like the stuff that like I'm more known for, which is like just like putting cool textures on stuff.
So then, actually, Farmer James said this first. He said, the Siggy Glock is titties cool. And I was wondering, this is something, it's a thought that came to me prior to his comment. Since it is a SIG-like Glock, could you, in honor of DLD After Dark, name it the Sock 19?
That's pretty good. But no, I'm probably just gonna keep my current naming convention and call these the V3s.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so these frames are going to be a little, so like I wouldn't do what I'm doing with these frames if I didn't already make the V2s as like a total, like, okay, this is just like straight Gen 3. So this is going to be a mix. So this is going to be a Gen 3 slide with Gen 5 like trigger shoe, Gen 5 style like takedown spring. And it's going to have a custom mag release. So I'm going to like work with some people.
Printed?
Yeah, printed, or I'm going to work with, you know, Aves or Riptide to like stock some, you know, milled or, you know, at the very least, like MJF nylon pieces.
Oh yeah.
These will take a custom back rail.
You're telling me that was my question was going to be, I was wondering if maybe this time around you'd be willing to do something that takes P80 rails.
So actually, the current 17s take P80 rails. You can use front and rear P80 rails in the existing 17s.
No shit.
None of the other ones, but totally it works fine for the 17s.
Okay. Interesting.
So for like it's not going to be as bad as it sounds though, because like you'll definitely be able just to I mean, look at what I'm doing here. Like there's I mean, maybe I'll like make some magwells or like work with like Arcane to like make some compatible magwells, but I'm not going to like the Glock profile frames are garbage. Like Glock profile is garbage.
Dude, I literally have like.
So I'm not gonna make a frame and constrain myself to like what their fucking like asinine ideas are of like what the bottom of their like what the bottom profile should be. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I think that's reasonable. And
like if anyone wants to like work magwells for this, like I will release. I'm hoping to be able to release steps for this. We'll see what happens. So the reason I don't release steps is like you see how close I'm getting on the geometry and like making it thin. So the stipples go on top of that, so they bump out that geometry a little more.
Okay.
But like, you know, I definitely do want. I'm going to address the magwell issue like one way or another with these frames, whether that's just having versions that have a print in place magwell, or like working with someone who's willing to do magwells for it, or just like knuckling under and just making some fucking magwells. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm still very early in developing these frames.
Yeah, I know a couple people brought up the magwell compatibility, and Arcane Tactical mentioned the magwell that he designed, which you know is difficult to come across. You know, you're not going to see them too frequently. Just kidding. No, I do have right now. What the hell? Get off my page. I do have right now Arcane Tactical's Instagram pulled up because I intend to go over their work. They've just done an incredible job on so many different pieces, and I got to showcase their shit, and also to address Detective John Kimball's question, which I know Snow mentioned it in the chat. Thank you. So Kimball, they did, like Snow said, they did make white frames. They are no longer available, and Brownells actually had a sale on them when frames were going for $150, like everywhere, always. My first 3 P80s that I built years ago were all $150. Brownells had a sale on them for $75 on their white frames, and then they discontinued them, and now you can find them on your local gun broker for $600 to $800. It's crazy. Yeah. IPS, what's up, brother?
But yeah, I saw some people in chat talking about the 365. So that's like the kind of the impetus for all of this is because I like held a P365 and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
That's not right. Like, you shouldn't be able to get like ergos this good in something so small. So that's what got me interested in like the 43 and like bringing as much of those ergos as possible into, you know, something that takes Glock parts, you know, add like parts that are actually accessible. And like now that I've seen people attempt like the MUP, you know, P320 stuff, that was definitely the right call, because like there's no mass market for 80%ing SIG stuff. It's just never going to happen.
It's very, very niche.
So that was like a huge revelation with like the SIG ergos. And then, I mean, I think my 43 turned out excellently. I mean, it's as close, I think it's as close as you're going to get to SIG ergos while accommodating the Glock parts for something that small.
Well, I think that's what Lone Wolf's plan was with the Freedom Wolf. Like, I think like they wanted to bring down, like, you see how narrow the Freedom Wolf is.
Yeah.
You see how thin the walls are. That's obviously why they went with like the Gen 4 trigger housing and all that. But I gotta say, man, it's super frustrating to be like, you know, go get a parts kit for this. You need a Gen 3 this, a Gen 4 this, a Gen 5 this. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like I've said this before, but like if I had to take like the fucking Pepsi challenge on like aftermarket frames and just like reach in blindfolded, I mean, I would choose the Lone Wolf every time. It just looks like shit. Like, you know, they did like they had the right idea, reducing the profile and like making it as small as possible, but it just looks bad. Like what they did with the fucking like trigger guard is a damn war crime. Like it's really fucking bad.
Dirt McGirt, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And for those of you that are out there, the links that were just shared, you may be able to find a complete dagger slide that is complete with suppressor height sights, but no barrel for $119. If that deal is over, then it's probably back up to $179. But either way, it's sub $200 for a completed 19 slide. All you need is one of these bad boys laying around, which I got a few. I actually casted this out of. I'm just kidding. Mr. Snow, what say you?
Thunder Ranch. I'm going to answer that question from Serenity there. Yeah, Thunder Ranch is a really cool place. I have trained with several like gun sight instructors over the years.
Nice.
I've done a lot of practical rifle classes. So run and bolt guns, you know, really kind of learning how to fight with a bolt gun is super interesting, and it was just a ton of fun.
What are your thoughts on the Gun Sight Scout by Ruger?
Yeah, so I have one of those. They did a terrible job on it, but you can fix it.
Okay, how do you mean?
It's way too heavy.
Yeah, it is.
So
in $1,000 heavy.
Yeah, the Gun Sight Scout could have been a cool rifle, but it's way too heavy. Because when they originally released it, it had the wood laminated stock, and they didn't do like a plastic stock until later. I mean, it's a pound and a half difference.
Oh, they
just
did
in the
do
stock.
one?
Yeah, so I have one. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's an aftermarket part from Ruger to where you can convert and get rid of the wood laminated stock and go to a fully synthetic stock.
Hey,
And it
but that
drop.
black laminate with that greenish kind of tint, it's beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I have one. I love it. And that's what I've shot at a lot of those classes. But I kind of fall back to oh, actually I have a picture of it right here. That's funny. Just a second. So I fall back to the Model 70s. So Winchester Model 70s is really kind of the way to go for those kind of practical rifle fighting guns. That 3-position safety, the wing safety on the Model 70s from Winchester is really kind of what you want.
Nice. Is that a AAC brake? Or no, that's a YHM brake on it?
That's a Silencer Co.
Silencer Co. Okay.
So it's a Silencer Co. ACR brake that fits my Omega 30.
3D Arms. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Oh, it's currently 169. So yes, so those were links just to the site, not to the item. I could go and generate a bunch of links just to specific items, but I'm not trying to like make a business on affiliate links. Just want to help you guys out, and also it provides support to the channel as well if you choose to use those, or if you just want to go use the discount code somewhere else without my link, that's cool too. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so I really like the 3-position safety, which the Ruger does have, and also there's a huge difference, and this is getting into we're getting into some nerd territory.
I'm sorry, the
bolt guns.
3-position safety.
Yeah, so Winchesters and this model Ruger, they have that wing safety. So that like a Remington 700 standard safety is either on or off.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3-position wing safeties, you can have it fully on. You can have a midway to where the trigger won't drop, but you can actually still work the bolt, or you can have it fully off where the gun fires completely. So,
Wow.
so there is a feature on the Winchesters, and as well as this, the gun sight Scout from Ruger and the Ruger American bolt actions, to where you can have a safety on and still work the bolt. Whereas if the Winchester safety is fully on, it's fully on, you actually cannot work the bolt.
Dude, okay, so it's kind of similar to like the difference between so an old school 1911, single stack 1911, when the safety is engaged, you cannot rack the slide. But in like the new SIGs or like the SIG 938, it's a 1911 style. You can engage the safety and it's not a slide lock. So you can still manipulate the slide. You can still,
Yeah, and then you've got one of the biggest differences between the Remington 700 and the like Winchester or Mauser, really, because the Winchester Model 70s are based off Mauser actions, is the positive engagement of the case. That matters a little bit when you get into the idea of if you're going to be firing a bolt gun from weird positions, like if you're upside down in the dirt, the Mauser action really holds onto the case, whereas the Remington, you really have to fully lock down the bolt for the case to actually engage with the bolt head and stay there with the extractor. So you get into some weird stuff.
Yeah, a little beyond my well, and I rocked a 700 for a while. It was sadly one of those guns that was wrapped up into that pawn situation. I don't know if I know I've shared that on stream a few times. I don't know if I told you guys, but yeah, I basically pawned 9 guns and was like, I'll be right back to get those. And the pawn shop owner sold the shop, like sold the entire store. So I was screwed. Yeah. I was 3 days. I called the dude, and long story, but just to fill in some of the gaps there, I was 3 days. I needed a few $1,000s for like, something like quick little turnaround, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got so many guns that I don't touch, need, use, whatever. And I'm just going to take these 9 guns that I don't have like much attachment to And why not bring $8,500 worth of firearms to a pawn shop and get $3,000 and come right back, And I called the guy and I was like, "Yo, I'm coming back. I got $3,400. I'm gonna get all of them back on Wednesday." And he gave me zero warning. I ended up calling him on the weekend, like, "Hey, sorry I couldn't get out there Wednesday. I can come out today or Sunday or whatever." He said, "Dude, I'm sorry, I sold it." It's like, oh my God. So if you guys ever come across a custom Glock on a Timberwolf frame where the serial number is OMG WTF 34, and it is a burnt bronze slide with a threaded titanium nitride barrel with the double XL Ameriglow suppressor height sights, and the slide and barrel have OMG WTF. Yeah, it's a sore subject, but I also let my Remington 700 and 300 blackout go with 51 tooth suppressor adapter on there, which was excellent. It had a Nikon glass on it. It was awesome. And I also was like, let me bring in my custom Talo 44 Magnum Ruger Vaquero Sheriff model with bird's head grips with a 3.75 inch barrel, because that's not special. And that's gone too. But yeah, no, I'm not salty about it at all.
Well,
Totally great value on that one. It's great.
Yeah, man. Yep. It's like one of those things where my white Glock 17 P80 frame that I got, I was like, I'm gonna do a battle worn paint job on that. I've made great decisions in the past about investments, so come talk to me if you guys have questions. I could definitely help you lose money.
I have not actually seen the CZ 600 trail, but I just looked it up while DLD was on his rant on stuff that everybody cares about deeply.
Of course.
And that CZ 600 trail looks really cool rifle. I think there's a big trend of those scary looking bolt guns now that are all, tacticooled out after, the Ruger Precision came out, and SIG's got their bolt gun coming out that's really cool now. Remington's got their MRP or whatever it's called. There's tons of chassis stuffs out there that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I definitely I wanted to get back into a bolt gun, and then I finally was like, dude, why don't I just build one? So probably going to take that route.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, that's like why I bought a lathe, is when I got into like hardcore stuff of buying barrel blanks and actually fitting barrel blanks to actions and truing up bolt gun actions. That's really why I got the lathe, and I've been working that up.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Like, they see all these dope ass prints that you come out with, these incredible guns that you build. The all white 17L, I would have to say, at least in my mind, is like one of your most famous builds, because you Cerakoted the effing optic, like, so gangster. Which, by the way, I'm going to pull it up in a second. Arcane Tactical, we have a project that we're doing, and let's make this as so I have a replica Glock that I built with resin here, and this is the slide on it. And if you'll see here, the most of the resin accumulated in this area here. What I'm going to do is have Arcane Tactical do the slide, the barrel, and just the Swamp Fox cage in a battle-worn blue. So it's going to be like, it will look like the optic is battle-worn blue, but really it's just the steel cage that's Cerakoted. And then it is a JSD Revelation slide. So for all the people that are like, JSD stuff doesn't work, this is one of my EDC resin prop guns. And I'm also going to do the Magwell. And who knows, Arcane Tactical, I may try to sneak some base plates and maybe a 33 rounder, and I may just try to take a little advantage, and then just
while you're painting, if you've already got the stuff out,
like whatever you can get, squirt onto. And while we're on the topic, I will pull this up here. So Arcane Tactical, I made a very, very bold claim that Arcane Tactical is quite possibly some of the best finishing work I have seen, like, ever. And I'm not talking about like refinishing metal, and like there are companies like Ford's Custom Gun Refinishing that do miraculous work. They're in Florida. They've done a handful of my units. Here we have a Strike 80 with a Strike Slide and a TLR 7, where the TLR 7 is actually Cerakoted as well. That's super gangster. This is a Battle Worn Gold that sits on a Battle Worn FDE frame. Let's see if it's in here. No, it's in another picture. Okay, so this is part of the Battle Worn Blue. This is a Norso slide with a Strike 80 lower, and this apparently is like a one of 3 slides where they did this. If you know what, I'm tripping. I don't even have it on. Oh, it is full screen. Okay, sorry. So if you look up here, can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
So up here there is what's it called? The knurling. There's like knurling done in the front. I think there's another picture where you can see it a little bit better. But man, the attention to detail, like what he does with, like the craziest colors you would never even imagine go together. And I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. There you go. You see that crazy knurling all around there? That's actually machining. That's not paint right there. And that is a Jesse James gray color. It just happens to have like a serious blue hue to it. But I'm going to go with one of the most impressive pieces that I saw, which is a battle-worn purple. This thing is straight fire. Like, I was tempted to be like, bro, Arcane, don't do for the glowy blue DLD, special. Don't do battle worn blue. I just want straight up like battle worn purple and like maybe some battle worn stainless. But this is an example of like the kind of stuff like if someone called you and was like, "Hey, Snow, I'm thinking of doing a flat dark earth frame with like a multicam lower with a battle worn stainless slide with a battle worn purple barrel magwell and back plate," but you'd be like, well, what would you say to that?
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo. It just works. I don't know how. I don't know why. Like,
as long as the check clears, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I love Arcane Tactical's logo just because it reminds me of the Skies of Arcadia logo. I don't know if anyone remembers that Dreamcast RPG, but like that was my jam as a kid. And whenever I see his logo, I just think it's a blue robes block. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, true that. That's dope. It has like the Achilles kind of vibe to it, This is another bluey. I'm all about my blueies. So, and I already have way too many blue firearms, but the cool thing here is that this is a Strike 80 with a kind of like battle-worn stainless and gray, and I'm probably getting like the colors wrong, like, so, sorry. But you see the blue, like battle-worn blue multicam color with flat dark earth on the stippling, right? So this stippling is done, and it shows the true colors of the frame. And I would never say, like, if someone called me like, bro, Dark, I'm thinking of doing a blue and stainless gun with flat dark, I'd be like, dude, that sounds treacherous. But the shit is just beautiful. I love it. And I may be totally simping for him right now, but I'm just like, I just love the freaking work that he does, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's and that's where you get stuff that transcends into art, which is just fantastic. I love that level of craftsmanship. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter as well. It's fantastic work.
Yeah, sorry, Arcane. I didn't realize I wasn't following you on Twitter or on Instagram. I was only following Marconi.
Dang.
Macaroni.
O-Lights kick ass. Hey, not here, guys. Ralph's stream? Okay, you could do it. Not here. I'm just kidding.
I have like 3 O-Lights, and I actually like them all.
Yeah, no, I'm just being a dick. I actually don't have a problem with them at all. It's just a preference thing. Because I know you're a Streamlight guy as well.
I actually love the Baldor. Just like as a designer, it makes like making small compatible frames super easy. Like in the past, it was like, oh, like, wow, I need to like, if I'm doing like something that can accommodate a small light, like I need to design around like something really specific.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, with the Baldor, it's just like, it's just such a breeze to make any frame light compatible. I'm a huge fan of it.
Oh yeah.
On my 19, I carry a Surefire XC1. I really like those a lot.
Yeah, I just recently heard that Surefire gave $10,000 to every town, and they did it to enter to potentially win a government contract, and they lost the contract. So now they have permanently on their record. Now, I've not confirmed this, but I was given this information by a source that I trust enough to tell you guys the information without double checking it. That should tell you who it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, can't flux with that. But obviously, the quality of flashlights that you get from Surefire is like you can't say that it is not a high quality torch. Like those things are great.
No, yeah, I really dig the Surefires. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if that's confirmed, I'm not buying another one of their products. That's fucked up. Like,
yeah, especially that they did it for money and then they lost. Like,
yeah, like if you're gonna do something stupid like that, like be a man and like do it for like fake internet clout or something.
Yeah, like make like a meme gun with like a bong attached to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means that none of us can buy O-Lights because they're made in China, right?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
dude, I'll suck Chinese cock all day. Like,
but not Surefire because they support communists.
Fly out. I'll fucking fly out there.
Wait a minute.
Stick my head right between Naomi's big old fake tits and say thank you, China.
Well, she wouldn't be interested in that. So she would be very anti that.
She'd be hugely anti that.
I think
Naomi's super cool.
I think it's a little different. Only and maybe I'm jaded, right? But like I think.
But like China's our enemy. They'll always be our enemy. Like Surefire was supposed to be our friend, so like it's different. Like
yeah, why not?
The mental gymnastics that are appearing here are fantastic.
No, dude, that's bullshit. Like you like execute traitors in war. You capture enemies. Like it's the same principle. Like. A traitor is way worse than an enemy. An enemy is just like on the other team. Like a traitor is someone who says they're on your team and then fucks you. Like that's two different things, and like one of them is personal. Like, yeah, if that's true, like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not buying another Streamlight. Fuck them.
No, not Streamlight. Surefire.
Oh shit, Surefire. My bad.
Yeah.
You guys are doing great.
So I have a little bit of a different outlook on that. So for me personally, the way I see it is, it's kind of like the conversation of like the, yes, I would prefer to live this way, but I also have to acknowledge the world that we live in. And I know that it is almost impossible for me to, not fund China. But if I have the decision to, not fund somebody that is domestic and that is, doing something to, impact the firearm world in a negative way, if I have the choice to, not purchase those items anymore, then, that's likely a decision that I'll make. But I won't damn them for the rest of eternity because of one decision. But I, at least at this point, feel like I don't want to support
dude,
them because of that.
this is like fucking Hillary holes, man. Like fuck them. Like Ruger didn't fucking come around from like being cunts until like the dude literally died and his son was like incredibly based. Like I don't know. Like I mean, I'll fucking like whatever. Like O-lights are fine and streamlights are a thing, and I can always like buy some ridiculously overpriced Mr. Snow shit or just like fucking like duct tape a fucking like thing to a fucking AR. Like I don't give a fuck.
Well, Mr. Snow, what's your outlook on this?
If it's a good product, I'm going to buy it. Yeah, I'm not going to get super political with my money because I don't think it's going to make a difference in the long run. It's just not. If you're gonna be political with your money, I've never seen it work. Just never ever seen it work. People that try to boycott Disney and boycott this and boycott that.
Yeah, but like Disney isn't in the business of like they don't have like expressed beliefs. Like if I was in the business of like fucking like
Disney has incredibly expressed beliefs on they just released a public statement about the Don't Say Gay bill here in Florida, which is not even
no, but I just mean like they're not fucking like they're not selling fucking like guns or like they're not like selling fucking like
that you know of.
I don't know. They're not like pornographers. Like if Disney did something respectable, like made porn and then like gave money to an anti-porn organization, like that would be weird. Like, I don't know. Like
I'm using the idea of corporate boycotts, not necessarily Disney as a specific example.
I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not gonna like fucking go out there and like organize a goddamn boycott, but like I don't know, like there's like competition in the market. I'm not gonna like sure if they were like the only good game in town, like whatever, I wouldn't like beat myself up over it.
Yeah, so I mean, certain products. I mean, I got no problem with that. If I'm not going to avoid Surefire because of they were trying to do business in that space and money went to Everytown. And to be frank, I mean, there are certain elements of Everytown that I will actually be on the same page with Everytown. Am I upset that Everytown says that there should be secured firearm storage away from kids? Hey, listen, Everytown, you and I can agree that kids should not have full access to firearms that are unmonitored and not secured.
Yeah, but their point isn't like that should be just something people should do. It's that should be something that like the government can enforce.
And I don't like
those are two very different things.
I agree with that. I agree with that opinion. You're right, but I can still agree that.
Dude, I think people should go to church and not jack off. I'm not going to support an organization that wants to make that the law. Like what the fuck? That's like two very different things.
Are you going to a Jeffrey Toobin church? What
No, just like live a fucking like moral life. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just saying, but like I don't know. Like there's a difference between like having an opinion and like supporting an organization's like trying to enshrine that opinion in law. You know what I mean?
I am just lost and balls deep in this Arcane Tactical page right now. Like this is just like vagina to my soul right now.
Oh, well, just keep your hands where I can see them.
Yeah, I'm not tubing it. And no, honestly, Snow, I don't disagree with you that for me to say, and I did, like I personally made the decision to say, you know what, I'm canceling cable, I'm canceling Disney Plus, I'm canceling Netflix, I'm canceling ABC Mouse, I'm canceling, Amazon Prime and all that shit. And that was just a personal decision, just because like I kind of had like a realization that like one, I don't like some of the things that was like without me having to go like way overboard. And I know it's my job. Like there were some things I didn't want my daughter having access to with some of that stuff. But the main piece was like realizing that they fucking hate me. They hate me. They hate you. They hate chairman. And I don't know. I just and I get it. I won't make a difference by $250 a month. Like that won't make a difference specifically. But maybe having that conversation and talking about it and sharing it with others and sharing that same sentiment, and then possibly that ripple effect spreading out, it could have a negative impact on them. But I think we'd have to go much larger and wider. And I'm not doing this to cancel. I don't believe in like the cancellation thing. It's just for me more of a personal decision to say like I don't want to personally fund them.
Totally, and that's fine. Absolutely, everybody can do whatever the heck they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
not
I
to
mean,
get
I
all
don't.
weird. So.
Yeah, I don't know of any like. I don't know of currently any real alternatives to something like the Surefire XC1. Like
sure,
that
and,
is,
and like if there's no competition, like it's whatever. Like if I had to like, deal with the fucking devil to like get something I needed, whatever. Like, but like if I have a choice, like I mean, I'm not gonna like give fucking money to like someone who's just gonna like who are they gonna fucking give money to next? Like they clearly have no principles.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody really has very many principles when money gets involved.
Especially big corporations.
Yeah, there are no principles. They're answering to their stockholders and they're answering to the bottom line.
Yeah, if you've ever had to be a part of and or run a shareholders meeting.
I mean, you say that, but like corporations make choices that are driven by having a policy that like they think will increase the. Sure, it's driven by profits, but like a lot of time, like what's going to what's going to increase your profits longer in the long run, like trying to get some government contract you don't get and pissing everyone off, or just not doing that.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think if they got in the contract, probably spending the $10,000 with every town and getting some ridiculously large government contract, probably it probably would have been a gamble to them that had they gotten that, it would have been worth it in their eyes.
Well, cool. Now they look like gamblers and cons. Like fuck them. Like I don't know. Like what? Like why should I like feel things for like soulless corporation that now I know like hates my values?
I hate feeling things, but I will say the Surefire Micro Scout. Have y'all seen that shit?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Okay, so here's my EDC. Let me go back to the StreamYard. Sorry. And I'm sorry, chat. I have not been paying attention. I've only been looking at these beautiful non-firearm components. Non-firearms and components. Surefire, the company that I just said don't buy anything from, the company that I said I was making the decision to not purchase anything from, makes a micro torch for, I mean, it's like perfect for like pistol caliber carbines or things like that. It is about the size of this stream light here, and it's 350 lumens. What is that? Low, high? Yes, I think it's about 350 lumens. Just in case you can't see. Can you guys see it? I'm just kidding. And it's on a mount that it is movable, so you can roll it to the side, right? So if you hit the flippy do and do it underneath, right, you can roll it down, so you can actually have your thumb from like your vertical grip to actually like manipulate it and then tuck it back in, to the side. You can also, it comes with like this is crazy. They added value by adding additional pieces to make something more modular at no additional cost. They don't sell it separately. So they actually added in, they have the Picatinny mount, which is the offset movable unit. And they also included an M-lock setup with, like, in the factory package. So it's like a 45 offset mount that you can, move from like the 12 to 3 o'clock or the 3 to 6 o'clock, or depending on where you mount it. And yeah, I mean, I got to say that was very tempting because nobody makes like rifle. I guess I can't call it a torch because it's not that bright, but something for like that, like the Keltec Sub 2000, which shout out to Come Out in PLA for sending the Bushnell red dot that I keep on a 45-degree angle. That thing drills targets, dude. It's the first red dot I've actually had that was sighted improperly. This would be like perfect for that application because it's tiny, super slim, super small. 350 lumens is definitely enough to, get something for a close-in caliber like that. And yeah, I am a fan of the design.
It's cool. Yeah, I've been playing a lot with those Lepites recently. The laser emitting phosphorus ones. Those are really cool.
Really? What? Tell me more.
So I just bought a. There's a couple of. There's not a ton of manufacturers out there. Wellrod makes one. Olight makes one, and there's a couple aftermarket companies that make heads for like Surefire bodies. You can build your own out, but it's like a white laser essentially, and it actually like will throw a beam about 1,000 meters.
What?
Yeah, they're nuts. They're really cool.
3D Arms apparently says it's dope. I think he's referring to the Micro Scout. So this is a like white phosphorus laser.
Yeah, they're really crazy. Yeah, they're cool. Hold on a second. Let me get it. Right
here. Yep. Dark, what do you think about Mission First Tactical Micro Torch? If I'm not mistaken, that is sub 100 lumens, which, for something Montana, you can. There's a lot of open source information about that. I put a mirror on the end so they get a reflection of what is coming. It's funny. Yeah, there is, and there's a lot of open source information on that stuff. Hit up Sport Brand; he can tell you all about it. Invader Zip, what's up, brother? Invader Zip in the house, the developer of the Arc. But just before we jump back into that, there was something else I was mentioning. Hold on. Oh, so the Mission First Tactical Micro Torch. If I'm not mistaken, that is a sub 100 lumen light. Now, it is very, very small. Like, if you had it on a sub gun, like just for administrative stuff, like maybe, but I can't stand behind something that is like 100 lumens or less, even though it's like a $50 light that is about as durable as an RMR. Like, they're crazy durable, but.
So this is the Odin Turbo from Olight. And that back wall there is maybe, I don't know, 15 foot.
Oh God, what's your affiliate link? I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
And you can see it's like a spotlight circle.
Damn. That shit is crazy.
So it really, and so that's a low power mode, and then it's got a high.
What?
It's just like a spotlight out to it'll light a target through an optic at like 800 to 1,000 meters. You can just pinpoint your target.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're really, really slick. So, and this is classified as a class 1 laser, even though it's that white light.
That is super cool. Ralph was showing me some stuff like that, but he had it on like home defense guns. So I was like, Ralph, what are you doing? Put a fucking light with some throw, something that
With some spill, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm building. I'm gonna be using this on some of my nighttime predator guns, like
Nice.
coyote guns and stuff like that, to be able to really mark targets and things like that at distance.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, hey guys, I gotta bounce. This Sheba's getting he needs to go outside. So
You're good, bro.
thank you for having me on, and you guys have a good rest of your night, and peace out.
Hell yeah, thank you
See
for
you, bud.
coming on. And everybody follow Chairman Juan. Also follow him on Instagram and make sure you subscribe to him, but also hit him up on Instagram and Twitter, and make sure you go to his most recent 10 posts and hit him with a like bomb on everything.
Aw,
Show him
thank
some
you, Dark.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, catch you guys soon.
All right, brother. Peace. So is that from Olight like that, or did you need to mod a current?
No, it's from Olight like that, and I think it's probably one of the most cost-effective ways to get in this style of these LEP lights, these phosphorus laser lights. Because I think this flashlight's like $250. Like some of the closer ones that I got to in this range were running like $400 to $500.
Damn, dude, you may have just sold me my first Olight.
I'm really like not a huge Olight fan overall, but I think from some of the stuff they do, it makes sense.
Dude, I gotta say, what's the diameter on that handle, roughly? About an inch.
Listen, bud, you're talking to the right guy. We don't have to rough nothing.
You gonna bust out the calipers or micrometer?
So it actually comes with a mount from Olight. So it's already got a mount
Nice.
that goes on a Picatinny, and it's actually kind of a cool mount too, because you can lock it in two ways. Either you're there, or it can actually lock in on the side if you want a more lower profile.
Damn, that's pretty epic.
It actually even comes with a pressure switch. For that 250, you get a pressure switch as well.
Really? So multiple mounting options, a pressure switch, and a light that will identify a target out to 1,000 yards or more.
Yeah, and being the Olight, it's got the magnetic rechargeable base, and the pressure switch is the same thing. The pressure switch just magnetically clips on there, and it just works.
Damn. So I have a. So what was the diameter on that?
For the actual housing of the body, it's call it an inch.
Okay. So let's see here. So the reason I'm asking is because I recently removed my Streamlight TLR something or another. Like this is like one of the first ProTac TL2X. And I have it in an offset VLTOR mount with the American Defense QD shit. I was basically like, hey, how many QD levers can I throw on this 10.3 inch 5.56? And then I just went ham. I was like, okay, American Defense optic mount, American Defense QD vertical grip, American Defense light on the offset. And this thing, I am in love with this mount. Well, let me turn my overhead on. So this mount by VLTOR is just awesome. I mean, you could throw it up like this for a scout style, or you could roll it over, for you weirdo lefties, or throw the lever, switch it, and then have it offset sitting lower, right? So where your vertical grip is right here, and your thumb is right there, and obviously this has the light, the strobe, and the light you could read a book with. I love this fucking mount. This offset mount by VLTOR is awesome. So wanted to put it to use if it fits that bad boy.
Well, I mean, this already. I don't think it would fit because the this particular model has a rail actually built into the flashlight itself. So that's machined into the body.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't work. But yeah, that tail cap is rather interesting in the pressure switch because it literally just magnetically goes on there and it's good to go.
Hell yeah. Petey Ralph says, dark with a fluke ass light. LOL. Getting Odin. Hey, you know what? I was a Streamlight like dude, like when they were first out, when everything was like 250 lumens, was like,
Yeah.
So most of these lights that I have, not all of them, but most of them are like, you know, 250 to 350 on the lumens, and a lot of time, like when I submit builds, I'll throw my TLR1 on there and everyone calls it NHL. They don't realize that that is a 350 lumen pistol light. That is not an HL, which is kind of funny, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Like, it's rechargeable lights have their space. But I'm not going to trust my life to those rechargeable battery lights. I'm going to stick with my CR123As on
Yeah.
real defense lights.
So that's the other thing. Like this, this is a subpar light when it comes to illumination, lumens, candela, and all that. Honestly, I'm more so like the mount costs 4 times what the freaking light does. And I'm more so pressed on using that. But that shit's fucking like probably 8 years old. So it's like way, way, way back. So Ralph, it's not even fair to compare it to like where we are right now with lumens and candela. It's not even a fair comparison. That exact light, if you go search a ProTac right now from Streamlight, they are 1,000 lumens and they are 35,000 candela, and they're like $75 with the mount, with the pressure switch, with like all that shit. Like it's crazy. And the lights that I'm seeing nowadays, the things that are more appealing to me is I agree, I don't want a light that is only rechargeable. If they're rechargeable, or like if they take the funny enough, my e-cig batteries, and you can also stack 2 batteries in there.
18650.
Yep, 18650. If you can run an 18650 or stack up two CR123s or whatever it is, whatever the equivalent is to the 18650. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I do intend on upgrading my my lights. I actually, after a conversation with Angry Sarge today, shout out to Angry Sarge, we were on the phone for like an hour today. I'm probably going to go ahead and get the TLR7A and rock that on my, because I'm just, the TLR1, man, it's so outdated and it's so big. And though I do love those lights and I love the compatibility with gear, that's obviously great. I mean, if you're looking for something to throw a Glock with a TLR1 on, you'll have no problem finding gear compatibility. The 7A is a little more challenging. Well, it's less plentiful, but and of course now Ralph is going to jump in and be like, that shit's only 500 lumens, bro. Don't only focus on the lumens. I'm just saying, it's not all about lumens.
So I mean, that's interesting that like this Odin Turbo from Olight is only 350 lumens. But yet it still has a throw because of the beam, the way they do the beam in here with stuff like that. It's, it's got an 800 yard throw.
Damn.
So, the candelabra versus lumens argument is really interesting, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I have a 1,000,000 candle power spotlight, but it's not practical to carry, and it's not easily concealable. Isn't that shit like the size of a small like root beer barrel? Like,
I actually have a 1,000,000 candelabra D cell mag light.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
What?
It's like a 4D cell mag light that I got this aftermarket head that I all tweaked out on it. It's nuts.
That's crazy. PC says, for what gun? Which one are we talking about? For my TLR7 or or what. I prefer to put an externally charged equivalent, but keep alkaline spares on hand in droves. Yeah, if the light has the option of using, both, that would be ideal. I just after looking at everything, like I don't personally want to throw like an Olight on my EDC, and it's not to shit on them. It's just that I prefer a Streamlight, and having a TLR7A that's 500 lumens and freaking 10,000 candela. Like I'll take that shit for a gun that I need to identify targets in a movie theater. Or sorry, bad choice of words there.
Wherever you have to identify targets.
Yes. So I typically throw like a light on. I don't always carry a light with my like a weapon mounted light. I do always carry a light, but not always on my gun. One thing I've never asked you before: what's your typical daily carry?
It depends on what I'm wearing. I'm basically cycling between 4 guns right now.
Okay.
I've got a 43X. I still love my Ruger LCP2 and 380. I've got a Glock 19. And then I just bought a M&P Shield 2 that I really like because it's a little bit thinner profile than like the Glocks. So it depends on what I'm wearing. I almost always carry appendix carry, except for with the Ruger. I've got one of those little pocket holsters that slips in my back pocket.
You
I like those.
Pocket.
Yeah, for the LCP2s, yeah.
Does it stay in there?
Yeah, totally.
Damn, I was always a little bit nervous about doing the back pocket carry with a pocket holster, but it's funny, like what you've 43X, yeah. So you and I are basically kind of rotating around the same firearms. My typical daily carry, like right now, I got the 43X with the 20+1 in it. And the reason I have the 20+1 in it instead of having the 15 rounder in it with the 20 rounder as the backup, I swapped them because with this holster, it sits so low and is canted at such a perfect position that it's actually an advantage, and it doesn't show anymore, doesn't print anymore. Having that, it's just very, very low profile. And then I have the 15 round backup. But I'm I'm going through the 43X for EDC mostly, but I also carry, depending on what I'm wearing, like if I'm wearing like a suit with a jacket with like a tucked in shirt, I am not going to carry IWB. Tuckable holsters are dog shit, and that shit is for the birds. And I'll throw a Keltec P3AT or a Ruger LCP. Yes, the standard silly single stack 6+1, or a Glock 19 with the that setup I showed with the red dot suppressor head sights and all that shit. Anything?
Yeah. So yeah, in a 19. I mean, and it depends on where I'm going. Like, if I'm going to, I live in a very small town generally. So I mean, if I'm just around town, 380 and a small gun is fine to me. If I'm going to a larger, more populated area, I'll step up to the 19. The 43X is probably what I carry the most with the shield mags. Just the 15. My belief system is that a concealed carry firearm, the only thing I need it to do for me is get me to my truck.
Yeah. Give me to another gun.
So, a concealed carry gun is not the weapon of choice ever to fight with. It's just going to get me, hopefully it's going to get me in my truck where I have guns to fight with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it may be that what you have on you is what you have to fight with. It could be, right?
But it's not ideal.
Yeah, exactly. It's you're not going to barricade yourself in with 7 rounds of 380, or in your case 11 rounds of 380, which I do like that, like the idea of the LCP. Which one is the 10+1?
I don't actually do the extensions. I just do the regular 6+1 ags. I don't do the big ones.
Oh, so yours is an LCP2.
Yeah, LCP2.
I was thinking of the LCP Max, which is the double stack 10+1.
Yeah, no, just an LCP2. I do have a couple of those P3ATs with extended mags too that are hilarious.
Yeah, those. I completely refinished mine. I love doing projects, right? And when I was a kid, I got a Keltec P3AT that for a while they were doing these. Well, I guess they still do funky colors, but from time to time they were putting out these Keltec P3ATs, P11s, P40s, which a lot of people don't know about. They're actually pretty collectible, believe it or not. The P40s were the P11 size handguns, but in 40 caliber, and they were wrist breakers and PF9s and all that. But the P3AT that I got was a gray frame with a brushed chrome slide. And I always wanted to get another one of those. I stupidly sold it. And they also had a blue one with a hard chrome or brushed chrome slide, and that was gorgeous. And I wanted to recreate it. So I had a black P3AT, and I couldn't find one that was like a reasonable price that was the gray and chrome because they are fewer far between. So I had completely spray painted it OD green, cooked it on, and all that shit, and it was starting to like wear away and rust and all that shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to town on this, and I'm actually doing like a full full renovation. I'm doing a full overhaul on it. So I completely stripped the slide. I refinished it, polished it, and it is a very not high polish, but a bright, like hard chrome looking finish on the metal on the slide. And I took the Brownell's Alumahide stainless gray color, and I did the lower in it. So I do finally have that gray and chrome P3AT. Love it. It's beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah. Now I know, let me see, I saw a couple questions. Somebody mentioned carrying a Glock 33, which for those of you that don't know, that is the Glock 26 size and 357 SIG. So I think you get 9+1 with a flush mag and maybe 10+1 or 11+1 in the, the +2 little jammy.
Back when I was younger and more macho, I used to carry a USB tactical, the compact tactical in 45.
Nice. Now, every now and then, I'm just gonna guess, like when you're feeling like ballsy, like I'm gonna throw something like something meaner on, something bigger on, like
Actually, when I'm feeling like a little fancy, I'll carry a 1911.
Ooh, like a 2011, 1911, or like a 1911.
A lot of times I'll actually go with one of the worst guns to ever grace a 1911 is that 3-inch Kimber Micro 45.
Oh, the Ultra.
And I've got the Colt.
The double agent.
Yeah, the new agent, Colt new agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got one of those Colt new agents. I mean, it's a beautiful gun. It's got that that notch sight down the slide.
Yeah,
it's horrendously terrible, but it's beautiful.
Tell
it's
people
beautiful.
what that is, because most people probably don't know that this is the gun that doesn't have sights.
Yeah, so it's called a channel sight or channel sight. I think it's what it's called. Notch sight. Basically, the top of the slide on the 1911, they just took like an end mill and just cut a channel down the top of the slide, and that's your sights. Like it's just which for concealed carry makes sense. I mean, I actually took Rob Pincus's intuitive defense class last week.
Nice.
So I was actually on the range with him for a full day in one of his classes, and it was all about if you're shooting for self-defense, you're probably not actually going to use your sights. So it was really nice, figuring out how far can you really shoot chest size groups without worrying about your sights. Draw, fire.
Yeah, dude, it's so crazy that you bring that up because very recently I kind of had to reevaluate the way that I drew when I'm carrying a firearm with an optic on it. And I don't know why it took me so long to understand this, but from years and years and years and years of repetition of drawing, presenting, and just kind of using the sights, but really you're kind of point shooting, right? Like within a relatively small area, and a lot of the shit, like I've been practicing drawing and firing from a high thumb pectoral index, and I think it's important that we get good at that for retention. And you never know how close you're going to be fighting. Make sure you don't shoot your own hand. That's important because that's like your leveraging arm to keep people away from you and your gun. um, and it gives you really good awareness. But I realized that like when I draw a little bit lower because I'm looking for my sights. And when I do that same draw, and that same draw stroke gives me my sights, and then I'm caught looking for my red dot. Somebody told me that is somebody that has more than 3 decades of like special operations and crazy shit. They said draw it at eye level instead of the lower, like.
Yeah, you bring the gun to your eye, you don't bring your head down to the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, people have been teaching that for quite some time now. That's really, you shouldn't have to. It's wasted movement to have to move your head down to the sight. You bring the gun up to your eyes.
Yeah, I just was bringing it too low because I was just so used to. I think I was so focused on getting a sub 2 second draw to first shot that you know transitioning to an optic finally like showed me like, hey, draw it and bring it a little bit higher, and your dot is going to be right there, and then your sights also with repetition happen to be in the right place too. So I know it sounds like so stupid and so simple, but it took me a while to get that.
Like some of the habits that I'm going to have to reform because they made sense like once they were pointed out to me is in a competition mindset, when you're doing speed loads and top offs, you're going to drop that slide with the slide release, the slide stop release.
Yeah.
But really, when I stopped and thought about it and somebody showed it to me, by 20% spring engagement force to strip that round off the top.
Well, for some reason my audio cut for a second. Say that.
So the difference between the slide stop release versus pulling the slide back with your hand and racking it, by racking it instead of slide release, you're getting 20 to 30% more spring engagement.
Yeah,
because you're actually pulling it farther back than what the slide stop does, and that makes a lot of sense for those topped off full mags where that first round is sometimes hard to strip off. Those really stiff mags is you want everything you got. So I'm having to like retrain myself to not just speed for that slide release, but to actually drop in the mag, rotate, come over the top, and rack to get back into a fight, which is weird.
Is your typical go-to the slide release?
Yeah, because I've been in a competition mindset of speed reloads. Shooting IPSC and IDPA stuff.
Yeah,
it's always been. I mean, I shot a bunch of 2011, STI stuff.
That's what it is. It's the different platform, because on a Glock, it's not a slide release. It's a slide stop.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting concept that like I've always trained with, when you're empty and you reload, you palm and four fingers and then, go back to work. And a lot of people want to shortcut that, specifically people that come from other platforms like a 1911, like a Beretta, like whatever, where it's not a slide stop, it's a slide release. And even us, like in our world of like building and printing and aftermarket parts and all this shit, like almost every kit that you get that's, even factory OEM ones are enlarged. They have another paddle on it, and they are used as a release as well. But for some reason, I still palm and forefinger and go back to work. So, Well, before we cut it out here, what other projects do you have coming up soon that you're super excited about? I know you mentioned the
Well, I
PS.
mean, right now I got a bunch of stuff I gotta finish. Like I gotta release the Gatto prod. That's just something I gotta like get done and release. I'm probably most excited project wise about some of the AR7 stuff I've been doing, like with some of that stuff. Like with
Like the
that.
Star Wars AR7 stuff?
Yeah. So I've got like that Han shot first 7 is what that project has kind of been dubbed. I'm super excited to get back to that. I've got it running
Oh,
now fairly well. And
nice.
you know, I want to get all that stuff kind of documented up and released to the general public. Pretty excited about the new pistol that I'm working on with Mussy and Zero. That's a 45 Colt long 410 pistol.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I got a picture of that one.
Now, when you say pistol, it is a rifled barrel.
Correct. So it's 45 Colt long.
Yeah,
So it is a pistol, but it just happens to also be able to use 410 shotgun shells.
dude, that's awesome.
And then I've got some additional plans for that mentality of I'm really digging this idea of the break open Thompson center of the 3D printed world.
Dude, I love that concept. I love that idea.
So
Is
I mean,
that
these
a
are,
steel or not? Oh no, that's an Olight.
yeah, I just threw stuff on there to mess with Ralph, I think mostly. As one does. They mess with their internet friends by throwing stupid stuff on their guns these days.
One beautiful.
So yeah, the idea is it's got this thumb screw here that this comes off and you can just change out to a different caliber, whatever you want.
That's sick.
So it's all 3D printed. The whole thing is 3D printed except for, you know, the firing pin that's in there, the spring and the barrel liner.
Dude, that's sick. And I love the fact that the grip is like a micro scaled down saw grip.
Well, and that's actually now changed. So this originally was designed for AR-15 grips,
Okay.
but it broke. Like the grip
Wow.
at the mounting point with when I put the 45 Colt long in there, this whole grip actually sheared off under the recoil.
So you actually needed to integrate the grip with
So we actually switched out for AK grips.
Okay. And
So
there's
it's just gonna
room inside there to torque down the.
Yep.
Nice. That's
So that should fix that.
Yeah, that's very creative. That's awesome.
So super excited about that. Right now my current life is get kind of prepping for
Snow.
my bad. I hit the wrong button.
That's all right.
Stop sharing my screen and left. Right now my current life is kind of prepping for the Guns and Bitcoin event in Miami in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've been talking about that since last year.
Yeah, so it's a freedom technology conference in Miami this year, and I'll be there speaking and teaching people, you know, all about, you know, here's how you 3D print guns. So
Yeah.
it's going to be this really interesting. I love going to some of these events because you get into rooms with like these little miniature brain trusts that are just incredible.
Oh
Like,
yeah, man. The
I mean,
mastermind
so
capabilities.
chairman's going to be there with me. Jeff Rodriguez is going to be there. Suckboy Tony's going to be there. And that's just, you know, you get all these people together and they just can't help but talk about what they're passionate about, and the knowledge brain dump and cross culture that happens there is really cool.
Yeah, dude. There's been some environments where professionally I went to events like that, for different things, right? But the idea, the concept of a mastermind, right, where you bring all these people together, it's incredible the type of shit that you come out with, and you feed each other, feed off of each other, and like the energy that comes out, like it's remarkable. I miss that shit big time.
So that's kind of the stuff I'm excited about. Got a bunch of 320 stuff I got to do, and I got 2 320 projects going, so that's gonna be fun. Doing a black and a white.
Nice. I literally had the same setup. I had the factory SIG. I think we had the same factory white SIG P320 lower, and I also have the P80 grip module, which is the black one. And I have, so the one white 320 I completed, and then the black one I have the grip module, I have the slide, and I have the jig. So I'm missing the barrel and upper parts kit and the lower parts kit and the MUP, and then I would have a complete other 320. But I am most excited about taking the MUP out of that white SIG and throwing it in an X01 chassis.
Yeah, that's cool. And I know Invader, Digital Nimbus has his Invader built out for the 320 now as well.
Yeah, I saw a Ralph printed one. That thing looks pretty sick, man. Thank you, Invader Zip.
Lots of cool stuff going on around there. Invader Zip's got a bunch of cool stuff that he and I are messing around with, but I don't think I can talk about that just yet. So that's gonna be really cool, I think, if it works.
Dude, this is the one of the few times where I can say I am actually working with Invader Zip on something as well, and a very large YouTuber on making a unique item. Well, making an item that already exists more unique. So that's really cool.
You would appreciate this a little bit.
Oh yes.
So I'm really into like electronics too, in Arduino and all kinds of stuff.
I can tell you completely remade the table. Dude.
So that's a wireless key fob relay firing off that arc generator.
Okay. So for some of you guys, you may not know the capabilities that something like that can have. What's the distance on that thing?
I've gone over 100 feet with it.
Oh, can I send you a recipe?
Yeah, I'd love to. And that's what I'm doing with it. And I mean, I'm building this whole unit, which is powered by like a 9-volt battery, the arc generator, and the little wireless relay for like under $15.
So that's ridiculous. I mean, in the best way possible. So I'm going to send you something that is 100% totally lawful.
Yeah.
And it is it's a little kit. And these were kits that I planned on making available for people that wanted to tinker. And you use that with what I'm going to send to you. And it's going to come basically in a large piece of paper with a plastic spoon and 3 items folded up. And the piece of paper actually has instructions on it. And follow the instructions. If you choose to do like a video or something like that on it, that would be awesome. And I'm going to name it something pretty badass. So just make sure if I do use a specific name in there, just make sure you throw that out there too.
I can do that. We can make that happen.
Hell yeah.
I mean, so yeah, like I'm really into like electronics and stuff like that too. This is way cooler than it looks. This is actually inside of this bottom part is a 3.7 volt LiPo, and then there's actually a 5 volt buck board that steps it up, and so it's all rechargeable and gives me like my own little battery pack and stuff like that in a 3D printed housing. This is like the smallest one that I could make. So I mean, I love doing a bunch of Arduino and Raspberry Pi stuff and lots of electronics.
Dude, I need to make that what you showed, the 100-foot cattle prod, basically. I need one of those.
Yeah, and I make a bunch of like 3D printed lamps and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun.
That's sick. Yeah, I just don't have the like, I don't know. Like I go buy like e-matches and like the reusable remote controlled ones and stuff like that. And that was the whole idea with the channel, Inner Jedi X, energetics, was to kind of showcase things like that. But I just didn't put any focus into the content. And I want people to understand things like that, and also understand how easily, like, the items under your kitchen sink, like how valuable they can be in situations.
You can have some good times.
Yeah, of course.
The amount of stump remover that I have in my garage is kind of incredible.
I'm with you. What is it? Bulk. I think it's like, funny enough, I think it's like bulkammoniumnitrate.com. I'm on that list, and as a result of that, probably several other lists.
Yeah.
And so you probably already have what I'd be sending you anyway.
A good chance. We can talk about that offline when we're not, streaming on.
Yeah.
To all these folks.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and cut it here. Mr. Snow, aka Mr. Snow Makes. Let everyone know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and if you want to add in shout out somebody else, like another channel, and maybe even some dad advice or life advice.
I'm always hanging out. I think one of the best places to kind of really get a hold of me and look around is the Linktree. There's a lot of really great information there on 3D printing, where to find file downloads, JSD, affiliate link, all that fun stuff. YouTube channel. I need to do some more YouTube channel content. I've been, lazy or tired because I've had some other stuff going on, but that's going to be firing back up soon.
Dude, your streams are a blast, man. If you could, Petey Ralph says, dad advice, please. if you could schedule like one, thank you, mods. You guys are so fucking cool, man. If everybody in chat, if you can give some love to the mods, man, they're dropping my backup channels, they're dropping the energetics channel, they're dropping my affiliate links, man. You guys get no love for what you do. Thank you. I appreciate you. My apologies.
No, absolutely none. My favorite dad advice actually comes from my own father. And when I was a teenager and he sat me down and had this very deep discussion as I was, coming into my own as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And his only advice to me really was, don't get a felony, don't get a girl pregnant, and anything else we can handle.
Wow. That's excellent advice.
That was the only dad advice that I really needed was, hey, we're going to get you through whatever you need. We're always going to be here for you. We love you. But there are some mistakes that I can't save you from. And here's two of them. Don't get anybody pregnant. Don't get a felony. Outside of that, we'll handle it.
The two things that I don't want to say that you can't come back from, that are the most difficult things to come back from. They're typically lifelong. They are the herpes of the of the world. Keep coming back. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I'll end the stream in the way that I normally do. First, I'd like to say, everybody here, if you do not follow Mr. Snow, look him up, Mr. Snow Makes. Go on his Linktree, check out some of his links, some of his affiliate links, and not some of them, all of them. And also, like I say, not only give him a subscribe to him, click the bell and all that shit, but go to his Instagram and hit him with a like bomb. Get like his 10 most recent pictures, boom, 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 boom. Blow him up. Show him some love. And as always, I'd like to end in saying this. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Just kidding. Be kind. It's so important that we be kind. Everything that we're going through, that people are going through, this has been the most difficult 2 years that most of us have ever endured, right? And regardless of what you're going through, being kind to everyone, even people on the internet, like not going to other people's channels and dropping really hateful ass comments, because that's not nice. Because it comes back to me and then I feel bad. You know who you are. Anyway, the thing about being kind is that it costs you nothing, and it nets you some of the best results that you could possibly, imagine walking away from a situation. So be kind, live a life of care, compassion, and contribution, give to others, bless others, and you'll become blessed. And of course, we all know that the only way to fight evil is by having good men skilled in violence. So become as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and of course, be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And that is it for me. So thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Snow. And thank you, Mr. Chairman Juan, for coming on as well. And if I were Ralph, I'd say, we'll see you on the next one. Boo, boo, boo.